Okay, let's begin the briefing. Operator Eugene Solano, I'll be keeping you up to date. We've got news that an invading LASAF squadron has just taken off from the Puna Plains, en route for an attack on our position, Aubrey Base. From their perspective, this attack is the final nail in our collective coffin. After all, this is the only base that hasn't fallen under their control. I guess we can consider ourselves lucky. It looks like the enemy has gotten a little overconfident and sent only a small attack force. Griffith Squadron, prepare for launch immediately. Fly around the mountains and avoid enemy radar. Oh, I forgot. The enemy squadron consists mainly of bombers supported by several fighters. Please protect this base and destroy the enemy bombers. If everything goes well, we should be able to get the upper hand on the enemy in this area. Alright, please prepare for launch. Let's pay back the LASAF forces with at least one defeat. One final thing. During combat, my codename will be Crux. I will keep you up to date on the battle situation, so please pay attention to your radio. Maintain your present course. Do you see the enemy formation on your radar? Read you loud and clear. We're coming up on the enemy from behind, just like we planned. You can let the escorts go. Just make sure you take out all bombers.
We'll show them what we got. After all, we're alien pilots. Isn't that right, Captain?
Excuse me, Griffith 2. Please use codenames during the mission. Understood. This new guy does everything by the book. Don't piece of land. The enemy! They snuck up from behind! What? Where the hell did they come from? What? Hold on a second. The city's being bombed! Unbelievable! There are no military facilities in that city. What are you doing? You shouldn't be wasting ordnance. Relax! We're just going to bomb some base in the sticks, right? There'll be more than enough ordnance left to finish the job.
ran away. I've got a reading on radar. Something's coming in at high speed. It's a missile! What? Where? Where is it? Answer me now! Eugene! The Puna Plains! The missile's coming from the Puna Plains! The Gleipnir? Hey, that better not be what I think it is. It's an SWBM! Get out of here now! What should we do? Where's it coming from? How far is it? It's no use! We're too late! Griffiths 2! Come in, Griffiths 2! Griffiths 2! Griffiths 3! Anyone!
The mission was a success. The destruction of the enemy bombers will help keep an enemy invasion of Aubrey Base at bay. However, we also suffered serious losses. There's no way anyone could ever call this mission a success. So that's the super weapon Lasaf used to take over all of Aurelia in only 10 days. Who could have imagined that they possessed such destructive power?
Let this be a symbol of the fury borne by our countrymen towards Aurelia.
Such was the impassioned speech of Laysath's commander Diego Gaspar Navarro, as images of the Aurelian squadron's destruction over Cape Aubrey played in the background. A day later, his gravelly voice continued to echo through my hungover brain. October. 1 year after the cessation of the Democratic Republic of Laysath's civil war. After the Civil War, Laysath began to set their sights on their peaceful neighbor, the Federal Republic of Aurelia, claiming retribution for years of exploitation. The invasion suddenly began. With the ever-present threat of the cloaked airborne fortress, Gleipnir, looming overhead, there was little time to react to the few concerns raised about the validity of the war. Such was the speed at which all of Aurelia fell under Laysath's control. Well, not everything has fallen into their hands, but it's only a matter of time. Looking out over the capital, Gaius Tower is both home to Laysath's Central Command and the very symbol of its power. It was originally intended to be a symbol of Aurelia's peace. How ironic. As I looked up at the sun traveling the same old path across the sky, the rays burned my tired eyes. Damn it. I just wish I could finish covering this completely one-sided war and head back home. I'll never get used to being in the southern hemisphere with its backwards seasons.
The Gleipnir was last confirmed heading southeast across the Puna Plains. However, we lost all trace of it shortly after. Unfortunately, Aurelia's information network can provide no further details at this time. We'll just have to take what we can get. The airborne fortress Gleipnir nearly wiped out our entire attack force. Even with you, sir, our remaining aerial attack strength is severely limited. We no longer have the necessary manpower or supplies to pursue Gleipnir. In addition, there are reports of enemy forces gathering at Port Patterson. If we don't move soon, it will only be a matter of time before they attack from behind. Given the situation, we are left with only one plan of attack. On the Puna Plains lying between Aubrey Base and Port Patterson, Laysath forces have hastily constructed a resupply base to house the large quantity of supplies needed to support their troops. Attack Puna Base. Destroy all parked bombers and base facilities. Take away the enemy's ability to fight. If you succeed, we'll gain an important foothold for an attack on Port Patterson. And what's more, we'll gain the supplies we need to win this fight. Unless we succeed in taking this base, that's it for our supplies. Please don't fail, sir. Retreating LASAF forces have abandoned Puna Base. The base, including all provisions stored there, now belong to us. Now we'll be able to provide backup support for our troops. The battle to retake Port Patterson is about to begin. Our scattered forces have come together for this battle. They're few in number, but we've managed to assemble a small ground force. However, the LASAF fleet continues to gather in Port Patterson, and the presence of the Transportation Corps has also been confirmed. Having lost Puna Base, it appears LASAF now intends to shuttle in troops and supplies overseas. If any more ships dock at Port Patterson, enemy strength will become more than our ground troops can handle. In order to prevent this, we need you to launch a preliminary strike on Port Patterson. Destroy all enemy supply vessels, landing ships, and freighters. In particular, try to keep as many enemy landing ships from entering the port as possible. Battle supplies must not reach the enemy. The number of enemy landing ships inside the port will be displayed on the MPG in the upper right-hand corner of your HUD. If the MPG reaches the max level, our forces will no longer be able to retake Port Patterson. This time, a substantial enemy counterattack is to be expected. It seems the loss of Puna Base has put them on guard. Please be careful.
Griffith 1, you are cleared for takeoff. Griffith 1, altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck. Crux to Griffith 1. Check your MPG on the right side of the HUD. The MPG will display the number of landing ships from the port. Please pay careful attention to the MPG during this mission. So, you're Griffith 1, huh? I'm Major Berkman, Ground Force Commander. There are landing ships within the enemy fleet. We'll lose the battle if the fleet is allowed to make it ashore. Do not allow more than 3 landing ships to enter the port. You'll be risking our necks out here with you. Let's take back Port Patterson. Huh? Wait, I got something on the radar. Put the city on high alert. I don't want to see so much
We've succeeded in destroying the enemy fleet gathered in Port Patterson. Our ground troops scored a major victory by using the chaos caused by our attack to storm in and secure the port. We freed Port Patterson from the hands of the enemy. It's still kind of hard to believe.
The emblem of the Southern Cross. It was on that very day that the aircraft bearing the mark of the Southern Hemisphere brought about the defeat of Laysath forces. But the story barely made the news, and the army showed no apparent reaction. Almost nightly, Laysath's commanding officer, Diego Gaspar Navarro, plays host to grand banquets within Gaius Tower. This evening, he is once again proudly trumpeting the glory of his airborne fortress. I've heard the speech so many times, it feels like I wrote it. Which, in a way, is a good thing, because it lets me concentrate on enjoying the food instead. As I gazed out the window at the night sky, I felt as if even the phases of the moon were somehow at odds with those of the Northern Hemisphere. The words of a fellow reporter, who fancied himself a connoisseur of fine wine, really got me thinking about the price of the glass of wine in my hand. One glass of it is roughly equivalent to several years of a Laysathian citizen's salary. Haven't the long years of civil war left Laysath an impoverished and war-torn nation? Whatever the case, much is unclear about the flow of money in Laysath. Ever since I arrived here, I've only covered stories the military had approved. However, this particular mystery just might be worth investigating on my own. The idea was nothing more than the product of an idle mind. At least at the time.
Okay, let's get started with a report of the situation. I think our best option under the circumstances would be to head towards Santa Elva. Santa Elva is a strategic location that we have to pass through to get to the capital, Griswold. However, there are several other strategic points on the way to Santa Elva. Which points you choose and in what order you do so is up to you. It looks like your decisions will affect the course of this battle. I know it's an immense responsibility, but there's no one else to count on. We're relying on you to get us through this. It appears that the enemy's Miller unit is gathering at Kings Hill. It looks like they're trying to take back Port Patterson. I wonder what they're up to. Next, we have reports that the Allied Davis unit is cut off at Stand Canyon. Gleipnir took off from Puna Base and is currently standing by at Terminus Island. With the long strike range of the Gleipnir, there's not much our forces can do. It appears that the enemy is moving towards Stand Canyon to eliminate our remaining forces. We'll need those remaining forces in our attack on Santa Elva, so I think we should probably send help. If left alone, they'll be helpless against the aerial fortress, just like what happened to us at Cape Aubrey. Also, Santa Elva is a key location for the enemy, and I think they'll concentrate their forces there. We'll have major problems if they send in their aerial fortress. I'll give you more details once you decide on a route. Please tell me which route you plan to take. Laysath's Miller unit is meeting up at Kings Hill. Based on the sheer strength of the enemy force, an offensive aimed at retaking Port Patterson appears imminent. A partially completed highway runs directly from Kings Hill straight into the heart of Port Patterson. The enemy intends to use this highway to swiftly spearhead its way through our defenses. Their ground forces must be destroyed if Port Patterson is to remain ours. Our soldiers are in a precarious position. If they are attacked now, they will have no choice but to abandon the port. One more thing. On the highway leading to Port Patterson, there is a tunnel. If an enemy tank makes it to the tunnel, it will be beyond the reach of any air assault. If even one enemy tank enters the tunnel, our mission will fail. Please make sure this doesn't happen.
Partially built highway to cover their movements. The location is well concealed, making it impossible to identify from the air. Wait for enemy vehicles to leave the rendezvous point, then strike. Protect the tunnel entrance at all costs. If an enemy gets inside, it's all over.
We've succeeded in preventing the Miller unit from invading Port Patterson. LASAF forces are in retreat. Let's hope they've learned their lesson and think twice before trying to take Port Patterson again. The Gleipnir is now positioned above Terminus Island. It is using the island as a resupply base and as a staging point for long-range attacks on Stand Canyon. The troops stranded at Stand Canyon are vital to the upcoming assault on Santa Elva. But they're pinned down as long as the Gleipnir's assault is allowed to continue. Something must be done about the situation, and soon. Analysis of the SWBM attack at Cape Aubrey has shown that the shock wave of the missile dissipates before reaching ground level. Hoping to utilize this weakness, the remaining Aurelian fleet has gathered for a counter-assault on the airborne fortress. We have been informed that the assault will begin as soon as we are ready. How shall we proceed, sir?
First Fleet to Third Fleet. Any sign of the Gleipnir? Third Fleet. No sign of it yet. Understood. Continue your patrol of the area. What's that sound? Look! It's the Gleipnir! Don't just stand there. Attack! Target the Gleipnir! Commence cannon fire! Hit it with everything we've got! The SWBM can't reach us here, but watch out for conventional ordnance. Look! The disc on the bottom is starting to move! Wanna see the ships under the Gleipnir just disintegrated! What the hell was that? Second Fleet, do you read me? This is the First Fleet! Come in! Come in!
All of those ships destroyed in instinct. Such destructive power. I can't believe they've made such a terrifying weapon. Sir, Griffith 1. It appears the enemy has some kind of new super weapon. If they destroy the rest of our fleet, we'll no longer be able to sustain our military. The MPG will display damage to the Allied fleet. Protect them and keep the gauge from reaching max. I know it's a dangerous mission. We're counting on you, sir. long as the SWBM exists, the safety of all Allied troops remains in question. The altitude of the airborne fortress will be displayed on your MPG. The fortress will be out of range once the gauge reaches max. Destroy the SWBM before that happens. Damn, he's persistent. Shoot him down! The Glacier is launched an SWBM. We think it's the same as the one used at Cape Aubrey. It's too dangerous to fly at high altitude. Try to stay lower than the Glacier. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! All right, one down! Airborne fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Airborne fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Aircraft damage. Airborne fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Again, designating. Airborne fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Great job! The airborne fortress's SWBM has gone up in flames. Raise the engine output to max. We've got to escape. The airborne fortress is rapidly ascending. We can't follow. It's unfortunate we weren't able to destroy the Glacier. However, this was a very important turn of events for us.
We've succeeded in destroying the Gleipnir's SWBM. The surrounding area is no longer in any danger. Unfortunately, the Gleipnir escaped, but this victory has given us hope. I'm starting to feel like retaking Santa Elva is fastly becoming a reality. The Gleipnir has withdrawn from the combat zone and is now in Santa Elva. Furthermore, with the destruction of the Gleipnir's SWBM, long-range assaults are no longer a threat. Allied ground forces are stranded at Stan Canyon. They are members of the Davis Unit, who were en route to an assault on Santa Elva when they were cut off from the main force. The troops have already been surrounded by enemy forces and are taking heavy fire. There's no time to lose. With the threat of a long-range enemy attack past, an Allied air unit was deployed for rescue, but it doesn't look like the troops can hold out much longer. Try to hold back enemy forces until the rescue unit arrives. I believe it's our duty to protect the Davis unit. It appears that a rescue unit has successfully extracted the stranded Davis unit. Although the unit has suffered terrible losses, thankfully, they've been saved from complete annihilation. I'll now go over the details of our mission to retake Santa Elva, a city vital to the enemy's transportation network. If we succeed in retaking the city, our capital Griswold will be within reach. It seems that the damage the Gleipnir bore from our attack over Terminus Island is now being repaired here in Santa Elva. The previous battle was proof enough of the ability of individual fighters to effectively strike at the Gleipnir, so all ground forces that run the risk of becoming a target will hold their position here. Enemy ground forces are most likely prepared for any kind of assault, but with the Gleipnir unable to fly, now is the time to strike. Even the Gleipnir wouldn't risk killing their own troops stationed at the base by firing the short-range cannon. It looks like there's no escape for them this time, sir.
Radar! The enemy! The sudden craft is here! They're here already! Prepare the airborne fortress for takeoff! Are you crazy? Repairs aren't finished! The optical camouflage isn't working yet! I don't care! Prepare her for takeoff! One Aurelian fire is hardly a threat! If that's our orders, I won't take responsibility if anything should happen. What's wrong? You're exceeding altitude! The response is like it should. I told you, the repairs aren't finished! shock cannon at the southern cross. I can't. The glacier will be torn apart. Out of my way. Get your hands off me. We're gonna die anyway. What? That mammoth thing has turned completely upside down. They're going to fire the shock cannon? They plan to fire it like that? Crap! Dive now! Hurry! Watch out for the shock cannon! If you see it preparing to fire, fly to a lower altitude than the Great Pier.
The Gleipnir is no more. Shortly after our victory, ground forces successfully retook Santa Elva. the Santa Elva victory is fantastic news. But even more so, the defeat of the Gleipnir is sure to boost morale and give us a strategic advantage in this war. Next, we liberate the capital Griswold. We've already come this far, sir.
Unthinkable! The chatter of the nightly parties fell into silence. In place of the sumptuous banquet, weapons to protect the capital were rolled in. Griswold is in turmoil over the shocking news, but who would have thought that underneath the chaos lay an even greater story? Aurelia's exploitation of Leysath was all a ruse. In fact, Aurelia had been Leysath's largest benefactor in aid. The truth remained hidden from the public, while any aid meant for food was spent on arms. Why did this happen? Why was a lavish party held to boast the performance of their newest weapon? The trail of money surrounding Diego Navarro would lead me to the answer. Diego Navarro is not only Leysath's commanding officer, but also controls their arms industry. He has used continued conflict as a means to amass an enormous fortune. This war was conceived as a replacement for the Civil War to further increase arms sales. I can't help but wonder how much of this truth the soldiers risking their lives for Leysath really know. The classified documents contained much more than just information on the airborne fortress. The transfer of financial revenue and commodities were also recorded in great detail. What does all of this have to do with Leysath's commanding officer Diego Navarro? Even after all that's happened, why does he still seem so naturally at ease? I've unwittingly found myself fearing for the safety of the Southern Cross.
All right, let me brief you on the main locations on the route to Griswold. Sir, please choose a route. First, remnant enemy soldiers are regrouping at the Kalana Steps and are planning an attack on Santa Elva. They currently aren't a threat, but we're curious as to what they're planning. I guess we're not much different from them in size or strength. The enemy Special Forces Skilla unit has set up camp at Sachana Air Base. They're not a squad you want to take on directly, but they're currently busy preparing to send reinforcements to the Kalana Steppes. This might be the perfect time to catch them off guard. It appears that Leysath forces are shipping supplies to a large-scale manufacturing plant in Montebriz. It seems that they're manufacturing something, but there is a large radar facility close by on Mount Nevera. The Nevera jammer is located there, and we're unable to monitor their movements. The jamming extends as far as Griswold, so we need to do something about it. Although we really need to find out what's going on at Montebriz as well. Our capital is not far ahead. However, Griswold is heavily fortified and protected by the Mezim cannon. Fierce resistance is expected, but we must pull together and take back Griswold. We have obtained information that enemy stragglers from Santa Elva are gathering on the Kalana Steppes. Unless we move now, we risk the enemy launching another incursion on Santa Elva. It appears that they are also expecting reinforcements and supplies from the Sachana Air Base to the northeast. If the remnant forces and the reinforcements are allowed to regroup, they could pose a problem. We need to attack now, while they are defenseless, and take them out of the battle for good.
The target enemy destruction ratio will be displayed on your MPG. Continue to destroy enemy targets until the number reaches 0. The target enemy destruction ratio will be displayed on your MPG. Continue to destroy enemy targets until the number reaches 0. Just wait a little longer. Reinforcements will be here before long with fresh supplies. Then we should be able to stick it to those Aurelians again. The enemy aircraft! The Southern Cross. Isn't that the guy who destroyed the Glacier? Damn it. No, you've just been
The concentration of enemy troops on the Kalana steppes has been eliminated, allowing us to concentrate on Santa Elva. We can now freely continue our advance without having to constantly watch our flank. I apologize for letting enemy reinforcements get the drop on you. I should have been paying more attention to their movements. It won't happen again. That is all. The Skilla unit has left Sachana Air Base for Mount Nebra. Unfortunately, radar interference has prevented us from pinpointing their exact location, but we believe they have abandoned the Kalana steppes to protect the Nebra jammer. A recon team has infiltrated Monte Breeze and uncovered suspect enemy movement. It appears that Lesath used several of the large industrial complexes scattered throughout the area to produce some type of weapon. Unfortunately, jamming from Mount Nevra is preventing us from gathering any further details. The presence of numerous transport aircraft, however, has led us to believe that whatever the cargo is, they plan on taking it to Griswold. There isn't enough time to prevent the transport aircraft from taking off, but we should be able to utilize their radar jamming to shield our approach. If the enemy succeeds in escaping from the combat zone, we won't be able to follow. A lightning strike before they have time to react should prevent their escape. However, enemy jamming will render both radar and radio useless during the operation. Instead, Recon has made arrangements to transmit the position of the transport aircraft via infrared. Your mission is to work with the Recon unit to track and shoot down all transport aircraft. The mission will be considered a failure if any escape. We don't know what cargo is stowed within the transports, but there can be no doubt that it doesn't bode well for us. All transport aircraft that took off from Montebreeze have been destroyed. They were trying to escape with MVSRs. Apparently, they were used to intensify the meson cannon's beam. It gives me chills just to think about what might have happened had those things been delivered. In order to ensure our bid to capture the capital is a success, we need to first take back Sachana Air Base. Sachana Air Base is our country's largest air base. The enemy incurred heavy losses during the previous battle at Kalana Steppes, resulting in a near complete loss of air power in this area. However, enemy ground troops have already begun to form a formidable intercept force in their stead. The surrounding woods would put our ground troops at a distinct disadvantage, so a helicopter unit will be used to carry them in. Your mission, sir, will be to protect the helicopter unit until they can safely land at the target. Intelligence reports that enemy troops trained in guerrilla warfare and familiar with the terrain are holding this point. Infrared sensors have been attached to the HUD to help locate enemies hiding in the forest. The heat signature from an enemy's weapon will appear on the HUD whenever they fire. Use this chance to lock onto the target. Draw enemy fire and take out as many enemy positions as possible to ensure the safety of the helicopter unit.
So you're the famous Griffith Squadron. I've heard the stories. We're counting on you. All right, we're just going to concentrate on making it to the base. We won't be able to handle the enemies hiding in the forest, so we're leaving them up to you. Damage to the helicopter unit will be displayed on the MPG. Keep an eye on it. We won't be able to take the base without them, so make sure they get there intact. him out and the rest will drop like flies. Griffith 1 bagged another one.
Warning. Increase out.
Change position as soon as you fire. Don't let them get a beat on you. Survey finished. Griffith 1, begin landing checks. You're clear to land. Touchdown. Two miles to touchdown. One mile to touchdown. You're on the money. Perfect, sir. Stand by and prepare for your next sortie.
The helicopter unit has brought Sachana Air Base under their control. The mission is a success. Air power from the base will be a vital asset, especially in the battle to retake Griswold. I have the feeling the day of our capital's liberation is not far off. LASAF has taken advantage of Mount Nevera's height and built a large-scale jamming station known as the Nevera Jammer, with enough power to effectively blanket the capital and all surrounding areas. Responsibility for taking care of the jamming station before it further interferes with the war effort has fallen into our hands. An array of high-performance SAMs and AA guns provide the Nevera Jammer with a formidable defense. The high-performance SAMs are difficult to avoid, even for the most advanced aircraft. You're done for the second you fly within range. ECM pods are of no use here either. The high-performance AA guns are also capable of shooting bombs and even long-range missiles out of the sky. We must first deal with this threat before we can move in for an attack on the jamming facility itself. Therefore, we must destroy the electric-powered transmitter that is providing them with energy. The location of this transmitter remains unknown, but a string of old power lines on Mount Nevera may just point the way. The transmitter's power output will be displayed on your HUD. Make sure the power output is at 0 before moving in to attack the jammer.
Pilots, check your plane and prepare for refueling. 1 mile to refueling craft. You're coming in too fast. Slow down. Yards to go. Griffith 1, maintain your current flight path. Perfect, sir. Commencing refueling. Unguided
We've destroyed the Nevera jammer and freed up the airwaves. Now we have a clear view of Griswold. Sir, let's end this war. We've succeeded in ending radar interference from Mount Nevera. Thanks to this, we've learned that the Skilla unit has arrived in Griswold. No doubt they were sent there to protect the capital from our advance. We've got an emergency situation on our hands. Spurred on by our recent victories, a group of liberation soldiers calling themselves the Aurelian Liberation Corps has infiltrated Griswold via the railway. Backed by citizens rallying to their call, they have succeeded in temporarily driving LASAF forces from the center of the city. It also appears that they are aiming to bring the Meson cannon under their control. However, LASAF forces have the capital surrounded, effectively trapping the Liberation Corps inside. There are also reports that the Skilla unit has disappeared from Mount Nevera. It is highly probable they are on their way to Griswold. The best course of action would be to lead an aerial assault on the enemy forces and keep them from breaching the city's defense perimeter. The Meson cannon, however, remains under LASAF control. So be on the lookout when flying near the Atmos ring. The capital's liberation is finally within our grasp. Sir, please decide the course of action.
Griffith 1, you are cleared for takeoff. Griffith 1, altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck.
We've made it this far, sir. I've made out now, the Atmos ring of the Gaius Tower. Look! Aurelian fighters! They've finally come! Over here! Do you think they know the extent of their situation? Just concentrate on protecting the city! Eliminate the enemy! Wait! I'm getting readings from the Meson cannon. An Aurelian fighter just exploded! Damn stopped. The sky's calm. Have we been saved? Civilian forces, can you hear me? We took out the missiles. Stand by. A relief squad is on its way. Follow their orders. The Southern Cross has done it. I knew he would come to the rescue. The Southern Cross! It's a good thing we were able to take the Mezen cannon out of commission. Southern Cross, we'll handle the rest. We'll rebuild her into a shining city once more. I tell you, they sure know how to stir people up. In any case, we finally managed to take back Griswold.
The city's defense perimeter still stands, and missile damage has been kept at a minimum. We've liberated Griswold at last! With the loss of their central command, LASAF forces have begun to pull out of Aurelia. The streets of Griswold are overflowing with citizens celebrating the defeat of the LASAF oppressors. Even soldiers have joined in the celebration. Sir, the people won't soon forget your brave actions that led us here. We've done it, sir!
With each passing day, news of new Aurelian victories came pouring in. The Southern Cross's actions spurred the surviving Aurelian troops to battle. Commanding Officer Diego Navarro has retreated and is currently being pursued by Special Forces. No one would have guessed that a ragtag band of soldiers smaller than a single unit could have put up such fierce resistance. December 10th, several days after the liberation of Griswold, I made my way towards one of the many cities busy recovering from the ravages of the war. Despite my usual misgivings, I could feel myself getting excited at the prospect of meeting the Southern Cross. But when I reached the base, I saw his emblem already gleaming in the skies above. I had heard that today was their first break in a while, but something must have changed that. I merely watched as the jet's contrail stretched far off into the distant sky. Suddenly, I was overcome by a strong sense of dread. The misappropriated financial and material resources were on a scale much greater than the airborne fortress alone could account for. Would the weapon at Griswold prove to be the missing piece to the puzzle?
I have an updated situation report. The forces hunting LASAF Commander Diego Navarro have been decimated at the Danern Straits. It appears that LASAF has developed a new type of attack aircraft. I can't believe they had a working prototype from the aerial fortress. Sorry, back to the report. The new attack aircraft is named Fenrir, according to LASAF reports. From the satellite intel gathered, it appears that the aircraft took off from Sentry Island. We received information from intelligence services that there appears to be a factory on the island. There are 2 routes to Sentry Island. First, Laysath has a squadron of ace pilots, the Alec Squadron, situated near the Dannern Straits. They are currently headed for Sentry Island. If a pilot of that caliber were to pilot the new craft, we would have a lot of trouble on our hands. Another route is Cobalt Cave, the location of enemy research facilities. It is believed that they are preparing to move some sort of weapon. We don't know the details, but it is most likely a weapon to mount to Fenrir. The ace pilots and the unknown weapon are both major concerns, but we can only deal with one of these threats. You must stop whatever Laysath has planned. You are about to enter Laysath territory. We don't have much intel to go on, but you need to decide how to proceed. We have learned that Laysath is using Cobalt Cave to secretly conduct tests on a new weapon. Intelligence states that the weapon is to be mounted to the Special Assault Aircraft Fenrir. It appears that Laysath got wind of our movements and is moving the operation to Archelon Fortress. We don't exactly know much about this weapon, but we need to put an end to its development ASAP. Simply destroying the transport frigates won't suffice. You must also destroy all warehouses on the island. We've been warned, however, that the warehouses are loaded with explosive chemicals. Fly up and out as soon as you hit a warehouse, or you'll be caught in the ensuing explosion. During the mission, Allied amphibious units will be deployed to the island to gather intel for the upcoming assault on Archelon Fortress.
Time to escape! Stop him! Later, convoy here! We're being attacked by enemy Pilots, check your plane and prepare for refueling. You're coming in too fast. Slow down. You're coming in too fast. Slow down. "500 yards to go. "100 yards to go. Griffith 1, maintain your current flight path. Perfect, sir. Commencing refueling.
We succeeded in preventing the delivery of LASAF's new experimental weapon, as well as destroying their research facility. The Allied landing force has apprehended an enemy scientist who is seeking asylum. He has informed us that the cargo LASAF attempted to fly off Cobalt Cave was in fact a microwave weapon of some kind. To think that they were able to develop such a device. It's a good thing we interrupted the delivery before it was too late. The Ace Alex squadron has moved from the Danern Straits to Archelon Fortress. There is no doubt they were sent there to intercept us. Reinforcements from LASAF were also sent. It appears they've just arrived at the Danern Straits. LASAF has deployed multiple air and naval units to defend against our assault on Archelon Fortress. Our military satellites have already confirmed large-scale aerial movement. The LASAF fleet is also thought to be heading there via the Danern Straits. The fleet will pose an immeasurable threat to our attack plans if it is not immediately stopped. I highly recommend attacking now, before the fleet arrives at Archelon Fortress.
Multiple ships straight ahead. You'll be coming up on them shortly. This is Falcon 1. I always wanted to fly with you.
We have successfully prevented the Laysath fleet from docking at Archelon Fortress. It was a difficult battle, but we've weakened the enemy's hold over the fort. Archelon Fortress is the final obstacle standing between us and total victory, sir. We've advanced within striking distance of Archelon Fortress. Fenrir, the whole reason they started this war is being made right here on this base. It's our duty to wipe this base clear off the map. We've received information that Laysath's elite Alex squadron is now stationed within the fortress. Fenrir's superior combat capabilities and optical camouflage, combined with the skills of Laysath's elite ace pilot, make this threat too dangerous to approach head-on. Disabling the optical camouflage is our only chance for success. A Laysath scientist we apprehended at the facility on Cobalt Cave has informed us that, due to Fenrir's compact size, it must rely on microwaves emitted from the nearby base's electrical transmitter to power its optical camouflage. The same forces that fought alongside us at Cobalt Cave will make sure the gate to the electrical transmitter is opened. If you succeed in destroying the facility, you should be able to handle Fenrir just like any other fighter. We don't have much time to pull this off, so make sure you're there when the gate is opened. Sir, we've succeeded in freeing Aurelia. The war should have already been over for us. But someone has to put an end to this. Just make sure you come back alive.
As I wrote down the words that would reveal the truth to the world, I couldn't help but feel uneasy. It said that the only true winners in any war are those who achieve what they intended. Diego Navarro had left Aurelia's capital in defeat, yet his goal of increasing arms exports had been achieved. It seemed as though he may be the true victor in this war. After returning to his homeland, it appears that he now plans to unveil the ultimate weapon before his countrymen. Satellite images of the Archelon Fortress will provide the backdrop for his speech to the world. Such audacity must come from his confidence in this ultimate weapon, Fenrir. There's no such thing as a foolproof plan, I whispered to myself as I watched the sun slowly wheel across the sky overhead. Even the country's hero, still in the heat of battle, hadn't returned home for the celebration of victory. The Southern Cross will ensure Navarro's plan ends in failure. Ain't that right?
To all aircraft, this is
likely to be our final sortie. Unlike you, fighting on the front lines, I stay behind and watch the battle through my monitor. I'm in no position to ask anything from you, but please allow me this one request. End this war and come back home to Aurelia. That is all.
This is Aquila 1. Roger that. We need to make certain that nothing like this ever happens again. Isn't that right, Southern Cross? Our lives are in your hands, Southern Cross. Lead the way. We've got a reading on radar. Multiple targets. Aurelian fighters confirmed. Send out the Elect Squadron. Affirmative. Elect 1 taking off. Elect 2 taking off.
Equipped with the same type of optical camouflage as the airborne fortress. However, with Aurelia's satellite surveillance system back online, we should be able to track its position. Although the tracking is far from perfect, please bear that in mind when attacking.
So, he's come. Which one of them is Nemesis?
I've heard just about enough here to tell tale for one last time. It's time to see if you measure up. All we have fighters. Leave this one to me. The Southern Cross is flying in rear. They're only human. You can yourself. Go get him for us. Oh no, the gate is going to close. The Southern Cross will be trapped inside. We have no choice. We must withdraw. We leave it up to you to end this. Put out that fire! Protect the control system! No, no good. The fire extinguishing system is out. Use whatever you can find. Put the fire out. They have to do any test on it. Oh, wait, go this please!
Griffiths 1! Come in! Sir! There he is! Griffiths 1! Unbelievable. He destroyed that entire fortress. He did it! Yeah! That's our ace. If the door hadn't closed, I could have been the one to destroy the fortress. Give me a break. Like there's any way you could have made it through there. Whatever. Crux to Griffiths 1. Good to see you're all right. I thought for a second you were caught in the explosion. Our victory wouldn't be a celebration without you, sir. When you think about it, you can't help but feel sorry for Laysath's soldiers. They were nothing but pawns in Navarro's sick game. Well, it's finally over, isn't it? Let's head home. To Aurelia.
Fenrir and Archelon Fortress have been completely destroyed. You've done it, sir.
Archelon and Diego Navarro's beloved weapon Fenrir were ripped by explosions and engulfed in flames. While these images flashed on the screen, the eyes of the press watched as the enraged citizens of Laysath stormed in on commanding officer Diego Navarro. When the rage of the thousands had finally subsided, it is said that there was nothing left but the shattered remains of Fenrir. It's ironic that the stage for the unveiling of his greatest triumph would be his ultimate undoing. When it was all over, I tried to get an interview with the Southern Cross, only to find that he had already returned to Cape Aubrey.
He said he's never really liked hot weather.
Eugene Solano, the young radio operator, answered sheepishly. Peace had returned to Griswold, and it was now covered in the colors of the Christmas season. I went ahead and bought myself a figure of Santa, the kind that I could only find here.
Albert, I thought you couldn't stand the Southern Hemisphere.
A fellow reporter said to me as he saw the Santa figure, a memento of this Southern Hemisphere of backward seasons. I like the design, I said as I embarrassingly showed it to him. It bore the emblem of the Southern Cross.